Nanda Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद।
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद।
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद।
Okay. Dad, you can start from text 91, chapter 9, text 91 on page 32.
टेक्स्ट 91। कोले करीले न दिया हदाई पंडिता सकला बालका बालका हाइले न हर्षिता। हडाई पंडित embraced his son and all the boys became overjoyed.
Hmm. Text 92. सबे बोले बापा इहा कोठाया शिखीला हसी बोले प्रभु मोरा ए सकल लीला. Everyone asked, Dear son, where have you learned all this? The Lord smiled and said, These are all my pastimes. Hmm.
Text 93। प्रथम वयसा प्रभु अति सुकुमारा बोला हईते करो चित्त नहीं अधिबारा। In his early childhood, the Lord was most attractive. No one wanted to let him go from their laps.
Text 94. सर्वलोके पुत्र हायते बड़ा स्नेह वासे चिनीते न परे केह विष्णु माया वासे. Everyone had more affection for Nityanand than they had for their own sons, but no one could recognize him due to the influence of Lord Vishnu's illusory energy. I guess recognize him as Lord Balaram. Or yeah.
हेना माते शिशु कला हाइते नित्यानंदा कृष्ण लीला वीना आरा नाकारे आनंदा। In this way, from the beginning of his childhood, Nityanand had no happiness other than enjoying the pastimes of Lord Krishna.
96. पिता माता गृहचरी सर्व शिशुगाणा नित्यानंद समहाति विहारे सर्वकषाणा. All of his friends left their parents to constantly sport in the company of Nityanand.
97। से सबा शिशुरा पाए बहु नमस्कारा नित्यानंद संगे आनरा ए माता विहारा। I offer repeated obeisances at the feet of those boys who enjoyed the association of Lord Nityanand.
Text 98. ए माता क्रीड़ा करी नित्यानंद राय शिशु हाइते कृष्ण लीला वीना नहीं भाया. Thus, from his childhood, Nityanand had no interest other than enacting the various pastimes of Lord Krishna.
Text 99। अनंतेरा लीला के बा पारे कही बारे ताना 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 हना कृपया ये ना माता सुरे यारे। Who can describe the pastimes of Lord Ananta? They are only manifest to one who has received his mercy.
Text 100. हे न माते द्वदाशा वत्सर ठाकी घरे नित्यानंदा चली लेना तीर्थ करी बारे. Lord Nityanand remained at home like this for 12 years. Thereafter, he left for visiting the holy places.
Text 101। तीर्थयात्रा करी लेना विमंशति वत्सरा तबे शेषे आई लेना चैतन्य गोचरा। He traveled to the holy places up to the age of 20 years and then finally joined the association of Lord Chaitanya.
102 to 104. नित्यानंद तीर्थ यात्रा शुना आदि खंडे ये प्रभुरे निंदे दुष्ट पापिष्ठ पाषंडे ये प्रभु करीला सर्व जगत उद्धारा करुणा समुद्र यहाँ बाई नहीं आरा जनहार कृपाय जानी चैतन्य तत्व ये प्रभुरा द्वारे व्याप्त चैतन्य महात्व translation. Please listen to this narration in the Adi Khand of the holy places visited by Lord Nityanand, whom only the most degraded, sinful atheists dare to criticize. That Lord, who delivered the entire universe, is nothing but an ocean of mercy. Only by His mercy can we know the truth about Lord Chaitanya. In fact, the glories of Lord Chaitanya are manifested through Him. Purport. Sri Nityananda Prabhu exhibited compassion toward the fallen, ever living entities and thus delivered the entire world. Only those wicked, sinful atheists who are bereft of his mercy could criticize him. Only Sri Nityanand has made the truth regarding Sri Chaitanya known to the world. Without his mercy, no one is able by independent endeavor to enter into the glories of Sri Chaitanya.
Text 105. सुना श्री चैतन्य प्रियात्मा मेरा कथाना ये माते करीला तीर्था मंडली भ्रमणा. Please listen to the topics concerning Lord Chaitanya's dearest associate visiting the various pilgrimage sites. Purport regarding the holy places mentioned in verse 105 to 151 and 194 to 202 that were sanctified by the touch of Nityanand's lotus feet, one should refer to the various commentators' description of the places mentioned in Srimad Bhagwatam 10.78, 17 to 20, and 10.79, 9 to 21 that were visited by Sri Baldev.
106 प्रथमे च लीला प्रभु तीर्थ वक्रेश्वर तबे वैद्यनाथ वने गेला एकेश्वर The Lord first went to Vakreshwar, then he went alone to Vaidyanath. Purport: the word Ekeshwara means alone or being devoid of others' association.
Text 107. गया गिया काशी गेला शिव राजधानी याही धारा वाहे गंगा उत्तरा वाहिनी. He went to Gaya and then to Lord Shiva's abode Kashi, where the Ganges flows towards the north.
108 गंगा देखी बड़ा सुखी नित्यानंद राय स्नान करे पान करे आरती नहीं आय. Seeing the Ganges, Lord Nityanand was greatly pleased. He took bath and drank some water, yet his grief was not mitigated.
Next 109. प्रयागे करीला माघा मासे प्रथा स्नाना तबे मथुराया गेला पूर्व जन्म स्थाना. In the month of Magh, January, February, the Lord took an early morning bath at Prayag. Then he went to Mathura, his former birthplace. Therefore, the phrase Purva Janma Sthana refers to the Lord's appearance place in his Dwapar Yug pastimes.
Text 110 यमुना विश्राम घाटे करी जल केली गोवर्धन पर्वते बुलेना कुतूहली. The Lord sported in the waters of the Yamuna at Vishram Ghat and thereafter went with great interest to see Govardhan.
Text 111. Shri Vrindavana Adi Yata Dwadashavana Eke Eke Prabhu Sabha Karena Brahmana. The Lord visited each of the 12 forests beginning with Vrindavan.
Text 112 गोकुले नंदेरा घर वसति देखिया विस्तार रोदना प्रभु करीला वसिया. When he saw the house and courtyard of Nand Maharaj at Gokul. He sat down and cried profusely.
Text 113. तबे प्रभु मदन गोपाला नमस्कारी चलीला हस्तिनापुरा पांडवेरा पूरी. Nityanand offered his obeisances to Madan Gopal and then went to Hastinapur, the abode of the Pandavas.
X114 भक्त स्थान देखी प्रभु करे न क्रंदन न बुझे तैर्थिका भक्ति शून्येरा कारण seeing the home of those devotees Nityanand began to cry. The local people, however, could not understand the Lord's sentiments due to their lack of devotion. Purport: the word Tirthika refers to the so-called residents of the holy places or local people. The words Bhakti Shunyera Karan means due to the absence of devotion.
Bhakti
Bhakti
Shunyera Karan.
Shunyera, Bhakti
Shunyera,
Shunya
Shunyera.
means, yeah, Shunyera is zero,
Uh,
Bhakti is zero. Karan.
Text 115. बलरामा कीर्ति देखी हस्तिना नगरे त्राही हला दे धरा बलि नमस्कार करे. As Nityanand remembered Balram's glorious activities in Hastinapur, he exclaimed, "Oh Haldhara, please save me," and then offered obeisances.
Text 116 तबे द्वारकाय आइलेन नित्यानंद समुद्रे करिला स्नान हैला आनंद. Thereafter, Nityananda went to Dwarka, where he joyfully took bath in the ocean.
I'm back.
Yeah, okay. Prabhuji from
Text
text 117.
117.
Text 117.
Yes.
Yeah. Siddhapura Gelayata Kapilarastana Matsyatirthe Mahotsave Karila Anadana. He next went to Siddhapur, the place of Lord Kapila. Then he went to Matsyatirtha, where he distributed foodstuffs at a festival.
Text 118. शिवा कांची विष्णु कांची गेला नित्यानंदा देखी हासे दुई गणे महा दंडवा. Lord Nityanand then visited Shiva Kanchi and the adjoining Vishnu Kanchi. He laughed when he saw the two groups of followers quarreling there. The second line of this verse refers to the Vishnu Kanchi residents, who are Vaishnavas, and the Shiv Kanchi residents, who are the devotees of Shiva. The devotees of Sankarshan, due to their poor fund of knowledge, these two groups always debate over the position of Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva. In other words, after observing their fierce animosities towards each other, Lord Shri Nityanand Prabhu, who is non-different from Mula Sankarshan Vishnu, began to laugh.
I just want to remind you remember in the first Adi Khand, Lord Shiva is shown in he has been described to be praying to Sankarshan and actually praying to Lord Anantadev, which is expansion of Lord Balaram. So Lord Balaram can see like the Vishnu Kanchi who are like followers of Lord Krishna, and here are Lord Shiva followers who are bewildered. When Lord Shiva himself is like he is praying to Anant Dev, Sankarshan with Balaram, then like I can see how he is amused by it, like that they are just bewildered, poor fellows, the Shiv Bhaktas. 119 कुरुक्षेत्रे पृथुडाके बिंदु सरोवरे प्रभासे गेलेना सुदर्शन तीर्थ भरे. Nityanand Prabhu also visited Kurukshetra, Prithudak, Bindu Sarovar, Prabhas, and Sudarshan Tirtha.
Text 120. Trita Kupa Mahatirtha Galena Vishala Tave Brahma Tirtha Chakra Tirthare Chalila. He also visited the great holy place called Trita Kupa. He also went to Vishala, Brahmatirtha, and Chakratirtha.
Text 121. Pati Srota Gela Yatha Prachi Saraswati Naimasharyane Tabe Gela Mahamati. The Lord visited Prati Srota, where Saraswati river flows in the opposite direction. The most magnanimous Nityanand then went to Naimisharan. Purport. The word Pratishrota refers to the Saraswati river. In this connection, one should refer to the explanations of Srimad Bhagavatam 10.78.18 by the various commentators such as Sridhar Swami. In ordinary language, the word Pratishrota refers to a river that is flowing in the opposite direction. In other words, at Prabhas Kshetra, the river Saraswati flows west and enters into ocean. Srimad Vallabhacharya, who visited various holy places of northern and western India, described Sri Baladev's travel to the holy places in his Subodhini commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam 10.78.18 as follows. Sri Baldev went to Prabhash and after taking bath and offering oblations, he departed. Sri Baldev took bath at Prabhash in the place known as Agni Kunda, as well as at the confluence of the Saraswati river and the ocean. He went to the place on the banks of Saraswati known as Pratishrota, where the river flows in the opposite direction. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 11.30.6, it is clearly stated that Vayam Prabhasham Yasyamo Yatra Pratyak Saraswati. We shall go to Prabhas Kshetra where the river Saraswati flows west. According to Sridhar Swami's commentary, the word Pratyak means flowing towards the west. And according to Bhagwat Chandra Chandrika of Sri Virangava Acharya, we shall go to the place known as Prabhash, where the Saraswati flows in the opposite direction and enters into ocean. I just don't understand what is this meaning of flowing in the opposite direction. Do all the rivers can flow from west to east in India? Because all the rivers flow from north Himalayas to east, right? Yeah. Yes. They all flow from North India, Himalayan plains, Himalayan mountains to east.
Yeah, they'll come down, then
west to go east.
Or go east, not to the ocean, to west. To all the when they come down,
so that
then
means Saraswati's origin must have been somewhere in the middle of India, and it is flowing to the west.
To the west, east to west.
West. And when they are talking about confluence, that means it's confluence with the ocean. And that is where all the Yadus they killed each other and finished themselves off. When Lord Krishna, before departing, that Prabhas Kshetra is that place. Yes. Okay. I think I get it now. In opposite direction means because all the rivers flow from Godavari and everything goes from
west to east. 122, text 122. Tabe Gila Nityananda Ayodhya Nagara Rama Janama Bhumi Dekhi Kandila Vistara. He then visited the city of Ayodhya, where he cried upon seeing the birthplace of Lord Ram.
Text 123. Tabe Gela Guhaka Chandala Rajatata Mahamurcha Nichananda Pailena Tata. Nichananda then visited the Chandala Guhaka's kingdom, where he fell unconscious.
Text 124. Guhaka Chandala Matra Haila Smarna Tina Dina Achila Anande Achetana. Simply by remembering the activities of Chandal Guhaka, Nityanand lost consciousness in ecstasy for 3 days.
Text 125. ये वने अचिला ठाकुरा रामचंद्र देखिया विराहे गढ़ी या Nityananda. On seeing the forest where Lord Ramchandra had resided, Nityanand rolled on the ground in separation.
Text 126. Tabe Gela Sarayu Kausuki Kari Snana Tabe Gela Palasta Shrama Punyastana. Thereafter, the Lord took bath in the Sarayu and Kaushiki rivers. Then he went to the ashram of Pulastya Rishi.
Text 127. Gomati Gandaki Sona Tirthe Snanakari Tabe Gela Mahendra Parvat Chu Do Pari. Lord Nityanand took bath in the Gomati, Gandaki, and Sona rivers. Then he climbed to the top of Mahendra mountain.
Text 128. परशुरामेरे तथा करी नमस्कार तबे गेला गंगा जन्म भूमि हरिद्वार. Then he offered obeisances to Parashuram. Nityanand also visited Haridwar, the source of the Ganges.
Text 129. Pampa Bhimharati Gela Sapta Godavari Venvatirtho Vipashaya Majana Achari. The Lord took bath in the Pampa, Bhimharati, Godavari, Venva, and Vipasha rivers.
Text 130. Kartiki Dekhiya Nityananda Mahamati Shri Parvata Gela Yatha Maheshwara Parvati. After seeing Kartikeya at Madurai, the most intelligent Nityanand went to Sri Saila, the abode of Shiva and Parvati.
Text 131. ब्राह्मण ब्राह्मणी रूपे महेशा पार्वती से श्री पर्वते दोहे करे न वासती. Shiva and Parvati reside on this mountain in the form of a Brahman couple.
Text 132. Nija Ishtadeva Chinilena Duijana Avaduta Rupe Kare Tirtha Paryatana. Upon Inan's arrival there, they understood that their worshipable Lord was wandering on pilgrimage as a mendicant.
Text 133. Param Santosha Dohe Atithi Dekhiya Paka Kari Lena Davi Harishita Haya. They were most satisfied to receive such a guest, and Parvati happily cooked for the Lord.
Text 134. परमादरे भिक्षा दिले न प्रभु रे हासी नित्यानंद दोहे करे नमस्कारे. They fed the Lord with great affection, and Nityanand smiled and offered them his respects.
Text 135. Ki antara kata hoila Krishna se janera tabe Nityananda Prabhu dravide gelena. Only Krishna knows what they confidentially discussed. Then the Lord continued on his journey toward Dravida or South India.
Text 136. Dekhiya Venkata Natha Kama Koshti Puri Kanchi Giya Saridwara Gelena Kaveri. The Lord visited Venkatanatha, Kam Koshti Puri, Kanchi, and the Kaveri, the best of rivers. The word Saridwara is an adjective for the Kaveri river.
It's really mind blowing that there are so many amazing holy dhams in India, and one can almost imagine each holy place, are as deeply associated with the pastime of the Lord. Yet Indians are wasting their time
No, no,
like
it is not,
anything.
but
This
many
is
are
such a
visiting, Karama, you see. And the great thing about reading this text is that you feel motivated. I mean, Karama,
yes,
you feel
yes.
motivated.
You want to go.
If I get a chance, I
Yeah,
would like to go there
Yes,
and feel it, feel the place.
we
really.
should go follow Nityanand's route and bathe
Oh,
in all
yes,
these
yes,
rivers.
yes.
Yes,
No,
yes.
this is one's desire, Karama. Yes. In case you have good health, Karama, and the means, one must. Nityanand Prabhu's and Balram's Karama, you should try to locate all the modern one is to one Karama, the places now.
Can you
At
imagine
least,
on what those rivers must have been like 500 years ago, 600
Yeah,
years ago
oh
when there was
yes,
no
so
industrialization?
yeah,
They must have been
that
so clean and
yes,
amazing.
truly. Text 137. Tabe gila Shri Ranganathera Punyasthana Tabe karile na Hari Kshetre Payana. Then the Lord visited the sacred place of Sri Ranganath, and thereafter he went to Hari Kshetra. Actually, I was amazed that in these travels, Lord Nityanand, he actually went to Naimisharanya also. I mean,
Naimisharanya.
Naimisharanya is a really, I mean, old place, like 5,000 years, even much more. So, yeah, that would be nice.
Text 138. Rishibha Parvate Gela Dakshina Mathura Kritimala Tamraparni Vamuna Uttara. He visited the Rishibha mountain, Madurai, and the Kritimala, Tamraparni, and Uttara Yamuna rivers.
Text 139. Malaya Parvata Gela Agastya Alaye Taharara O Harshta Haila Dekhi Mahasaye. Nityanand Prabhu visited the ashram of Agastya Rishi in the Malaya hills. The residents there were all jubilant to see the Lord.
Text 140. तासबारा अतिथि हैल नित्यानंद बदर की आश्रमे गेला parama ananda. Nityanand stayed as a guest in their ashram and then departed in great ecstasy for Badarika ashram.
Next 141. Katadina Narayanera Ashrame Achilena Nichananda Parama Nirjane. Lord Nityananda resided in seclusion for some days in the ashram of Narayan Rishis. When I was a younger devotee, I had a real desire to see Badarika ashram. I still kind of do.
Badrika ashram, yes, that is actually Badrinath,
Oh, really?
Oh, yes, it is
Oh,
deep in the
yeah.
Himalayan mountains. So that is where actually Badrinath, and then it is, I think, even more at even more higher altitude.
More higher elevation. Wow.
It's snowing there all the time. But very nice. I've been to Badrinath at least. Text 142. Tabe Nityananda Gela Vyasera Alaye Vyasa Chini Lena Balarama Mahashaye. He then went to the ashram of Srila Vyasdev, who recognized that Nityanand was Balaram himself.
I think this is like the first time somebody has recognized him as Balaram. Actually, I was wondering whether Lord Shiva and Parvati would recognize him as Balaram. I don't think anybody else. So it's only the first time I think Srila Vyasdev has recognized him as Balaram. 143. साक्षात हय्य व्यास अतिथ्य करीला प्रभु ओ व्यासेरे दंड प्रणता haila. Srila Vyasdev personally received Nityanand as a guest, and the Lord offered his obeisances to Srila Vyasdev.
Next 144. Tabe Nichananda Gela Baudhira Bhavana Dekilena Prabhu Yashi Ache Baudagana. Lord Nityanand then visited the residence of the Buddhists. When he arrived there, he saw they were all sitting together.
Text 145, 146. Jigyasena Prabhu Keha Uttara Nakare Kruddha Hai Prabhu Lathi Mari Lena Sire Palaila Baudha Gana Haisa Haisiya Hasiya Vane Brahme Nityananda Nirbhaya Hayya. The Lord asked a question, but no one replied. Becoming angry at them, the Lord kicked them in the head, but they all simply smiled and ran away. Nityanand thus fearlessly continued his travels through the forests.
There is no saving Buddhists. The Lord trying to induce them, but no. 147. तबे प्रभु आई लेना कन्या का नगर दुर्गा देवी देखी गेला दक्षिण सागर. The Lord eventually arrived in Kanyakumari. After seeing Durga there, he went to see the southern ocean.
Next 148. Tabe Nichananda Gela Shri Ananta Pore Tabe Gela Pancha Apsarara Sharavare. Nityananda then went to Anantapur, and after that he went to Panchapsarakunda.
Text 149. गोकर्ण खिया गेला प्रभु शिवेरे मंदिरे केराले त्राईगारते के बुले घरे घरे. He next visited the temple of Shiva known as Gokarna. He visited Kerala and the various places in Trigrata.
Text 150. द्वैपायानि आर्य देखी नित्यानंद राय निर्विंध्य पयोषिणी तप्ति ब्रह्मेण लीलाय. He then visited goddess Parvati, who dwells on an island near Gokarna. Lord Nityanand also visited the Nirvindhya, Payoshani and Tapti rivers.
Text 151. Reva Mahishmati Puri Malatirtha Gela Sor Paraka Dia Prabhu Pratichi Chalila. He then went to the city of Mahishmati on the banks of the Reva River, and he saw Malatirtha. The Lord then passed through the holy district of Shorparaka on his way west. The word Pratichi refers to the direction in which the sun sets, or the west.
Text 152. Ei mata abhaya paramanandaraya brahme nityananda bhaya nahika kahaya. The fearless, ecstatic Nityanand Prabhu traveled in this way without fear of anyone.
Text 153. Nirantara Krishna Veshe Sharira Avasha Kashane Kande Kashane Hase Ke Bujhe Se Rasa. The Lord had no control of his body due to his ecstatic love for Krishna. Sometimes he cried and sometimes he laughed. Who can understand his ecstatic moods?
Text 154. Ei Mata Nityananda Prabhara Brahmana Daive Madhavendra Saha Hoila Darashana. As the Lord traveled in this way, by the will of providence, he met Sri Madhavendra Puri. Report. Sri Madhavendra Puri is a renowned Vaishnava sannyasi and spiritual master in the Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. The seed of the desire tree of devotional service served by the Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya first fructified in him, CC Adi 910 and Ansha 834. Before him, the symptoms of devotional service based on conjugal mellows were not found in the Sri Madhva Sampradaya. His disciples include Sri Ishvarapuri, Sri Advaita Prabhu, Sri Paramananda Puri, Sri Brahmananda Puri, Sri Rangapuri, Sri Pundarika Vijayanidhi, and Sri Raghupati Upajjaya. Sri Madhva Sampradaya, or the disciplic succession of the Gaudiya Vaishnava branch, is listed in the Sri Gauraganodeshika, the Sri Gauraganodesha, the Sri Prameya Ratnavali, and in a book written by Sri Gopal Guru Goswami. It is also quoted in the Sri Bhakti Ratnakara. The Sri Brahma Madhva Gaudiya's disciplic succession is given in the Sri Gauraganodesha as follows. Lord Brahma, the creator of the universe, became the disciple of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Narayan. Brahma's disciple was Narada. Narada's disciple was Vyasa. Vyasa then transmitted transcendental knowledge to his disciple Shukadev. The famous Madhvacharya personally received initiation from Vyasa. Madhvacharya's disciple was the exalted Padmanabhacharya. Padmanabhacharya's disciple was Narahari, whose disciple was Madhava. Madhava's disciple was Akshobhya. Akshobhya's disciple was Jayatirtha, whose disciple was Jnana Sindhu. Jnana Sindhu's disciple was Mahanidhi, whose disciple was Vijayanidhi. Vijayanidhi's disciples was Rajendra, whose disciple was Jayadharma Muni. Among Jayadharma Muni's disciples was Srimad Vishnupuri, the famous author of the Bhakti Ratnavali. Another disciple of Jayadharma was Purushottama, whose disciple was Vyasatirtha, who wrote the famous book Sri Vishnu Samhita. Vyasatirtha's disciple was Srimad Lakshmipati, who was like a great reservoir of the nectar of devotional service. Lakshmipati's disciple was Madhavendra Puri, a great preacher of devotional service. Madhavendra Puri's disciple was Srimad Ishvarapuri Swami. Ishvarapuri carefully understood the mellows of conjugal love for Lord Krishna and was able to distribute that fruit to others. Sri Advaita Acharya displayed the sentiments of servitorship and friendship for the Lord. Lord Caitanya accepted Sriman Ishvarapuri as his spiritual master. The Lord proceeded to flood the entire world with spontaneous transcendental love for Krishna. Srila Kaviraj Goswami offers obeisances to Sri Madhavendra Puri as follows. Yasmai Datum Charayan Kshira Bandam Gopinata Kshira Chorabito Bhut Sri Gopala Pradar Asid Vasasan Yat Premnatam Madhavendram Natosmi. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Madhavendra Puri, who is given a pot of sweet rice stolen by Sri Gopinath, celebrated thereafter as Kashira Chora. Being pleased by Madhavendra Puri's love, Sri Gopal, the deity at Govardhan, appeared in the public vision. For a description of Sri Gopal and Sri Kashira Chora Gopinath, one may see Caitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 421 to 197. The pastimes of Sri Madhavendra Puri's traveling alone to Sri Vrindavan, and on the pretext of giving him milk, Lord Krishna's appearing before Puripad as he sat under a tree on the bank of Govinda Kund are described in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 423 to 33 and 16 271. By first accepting a Samodia Brahmin as his disciple and then accepting lunch from him, he established the etiquette of Daiva Varnashram through his pure behavior and rejected the endeavor of the Advaita Varnashram followers who are averse to pure devotional service, who consider the Vaishnavas as belonging to a particular caste and who lick the feet of the Smarta communities who disregard Mahaprasad. CC Madhya 17, 166 to 185 and 18, 129. He angrily rejected and chastised Ramachandra Puri for his offense to the spiritual master and blessed Ishvarapuri with the words, "May you obtain the wealth of love for Krishna for his unalloyed devotion to the spiritual master." CC Ansha 8:16 to 32. The Chaitanya Charitamrita, Ansha 8:33 to 35, describes how Sripad Madhavendra Puri passed away from the material world, absorbed in feelings of transcendental separation, while reciting the following verse: Ai Dina Dayaridra Natha He Mathura Natha Kadavalokshay Lokyase Hridayam Tvad Aloka Kataram Dayeta Ramyati Kim Karomi Aham. O my Lord, O most merciful Master, O Master of Mathura, when shall I see you again? Because of my not seeing you, my agitated heart has become unsteady. O most beloved one, what shall I do now? Haribol.
Text 155. Madhvendra Puri Prema Maya Kalevara Prema Maya Yata Sabha Sangye Anuchara. The body of Sri Madhvendra Puri was imbued with ecstatic love of God, and his followers partake of those same sentiments.
Text 156. Krishna rasa vinu ara nahi ka ahara Madhavendra Puri dehe Krishnera vihara. Shripad Madhavendra Puri did not relish anything other than loving sentiments for Lord Krishna. For Lord Krishna enjoyed his pastimes in the body of Madhavendra Puri. Amazing.
Text 157. Oh, sorry, were you going to say something?
I was saying, Prabhuji, it's just so amazing that like Madhavendra Puri in one direction, he just does not relish anything. He has given up all material enjoyment, only focusing on sentiments of Lord Krishna. And on reciprocation, Lord Krishna is enjoying his pastimes in the body of Madhavendra Puri. Because Lord Krishna is sitting as Paramatma also. And he's just enjoying the meditation of Madhavendra Puri, it seems. It's a beautiful exchange, I think, between the two.
Yeah, it's very advanced.
Very, very advanced. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's amazing. It really is. Yeah, very bold.
Cool.
Text 157. Yan Rishisha Prabhu Acharya Varya Gosani Ki Kahiba Aratanra Premier Badai. What more can I say about the devotion of he who was the spiritual master of Sri Advaita Acharya? The word Badai, derived from the Sanskrit word vriddhi, and the common Bengali word Bada, means prominence, greatness, praiseworthy, glorious, and respectable.
Text 158. Madhava Puri re dekhile na Nityananda Tata Shane Preme Murcha Khaila Nishpanda. When Nityanand saw Madhavendra Puri, he was immediately stunned in ecstatic love and fell to the ground unconscious.
Text 159. नित्यानंदे देखी मात्रा श्री माधवपुरी पड़ीला मूर्छिता है अपना पासरी. Seeing Nityanand, Madhavendra Puri forgot himself and fell unconscious.
Text 160. Bhakti Rase Madhavendra Adi Sutradhara Gaurachandra Iha Kaihi Yachena Bade Bara. Sri Gaurachandra has repeatedly stated that Sri Madhavendra Puri is the original root of worship in ecstatic love. Oh, sorry. The word Bhakti Rase is explained as follows. Codes of devotional service were handed down through Lakshmipati Tirtha of the Tattvavad branch. The codes of pure devotional knowledge, however, were inaugurated by Sripad Madhavendra Puri. See Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi 910 and Ansha 834.
Text 161. Dohe Murcha Hai Lena Doha Darashane Kandaye Ishwara Puri Adi Shishya Gane. After they both fell unconscious, the disciples headed by Ishwar Puri all began to cry. At the time of at the time of Sri Madhavendra Puri's meeting with Sri Nityanand Prabhu, his eternal associate and servant Sripad Ishwar Puri was present. The phrase Ishwar Puri Adi refers to the 9 Nidhis or the 9 sannyasis headed by Parmanand Puri.
Text 162. कृशाणे के हैल बहिया दृष्टि दुई जना अन्यो अन्ये गलाधारी गिरे न क्रंदन. Translation. After some time, when they regained external consciousness, they held each other's necks and began to cry. Purport. The word Bahya Drishti means after regaining consciousness or coming to external senses.
Text 163. Balu Gadi Ayadui Prabhu Prema Rase Umkara Karaye Krishna Premira Aveshe. Overwhelmed in ecstatic love for Krishna, they then rolled in the sand and cried out loudly. Report. The words Dui Prabhu refer to Srimad Nityanand Prabhu and Sripad Madhavendra Puri.
Text 164. Premanadi Vahe Dui Prabhura Nayane Prithvi Haila Shikata Dhanya He Namane. Tears of love flowed like rivers from their eyes and soaked Mother Earth, thereby making her feel gratified.
Text 165. कंप आश्रु पुलका भावेरा अंतनाई दुई देहे विरा विहारए चैतन्य गोसाई. Shivering, shedding of tears, hairs standing on end, and other ecstatic symptoms appeared without end. For Lord Chaitanya personally resides in their bodies.
Sorry, I lost the text number.
166.
Text 166, Prabhuji.
Nityananda Bole Yata Tirtha Karilana Samyak Tahara Poila Aja Pailana. Lord Nityanand said, whatever pilgrimage I have performed till now has today borne fruit.
Text 167. Naine Dekhinu Madhavendrera Charana E Prema Dekhiya Dhanya Haila Jivana. Today I have seen the lotus feet of Madhavendra Puri. By seeing his ecstatic love of God, my life has become successful.
Text 168. माधवेंद्र पुरी नित्यानंदे करी कोले उत्तर न स्फुरे कंठरुद्ध प्रेम जले. Madhavendra Puri embraced Nityanand and was unable to reply, for his throat was choked with love.
Excuse me. Text 169. Ena Prita Hailena Madhavendra Puri Vaksha Hoite Nichananda Bahira Nakari. Sri Madhavendra Puri was so pleased that he wasn't able to release Nityanand from his embrace.
Text 170. Ishwar Puri Brahmananda Puri Adi Yata Sarva Shishya Hailena Nityanande Rata. Ishwar Puri, Brahmanand Puri, and the other disciples of Madhavendra Puri all felt great attachment for Lord Nityanand. Purport. Sri Ishwar Puri was born in a Brahmana family of Kumarhata near the Halis-Hara station on the EV railway line and was a beloved disciple of Madhavendra Puri. The Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya 8.28 to 30 describes how Sriman Madhavendra, being pleased by his service, benedicted him in the following words: May you obtain the wealth of love for Krishna. Prior to enacting the pastimes of initiating Mahaprabhu with the 10 syllables mantra at Gaya, Sri Ishwar Puri came to Navdeep and resided at the house of Gopinath Acharya for 1 month. At that time, he had discussions with Advaita Prabhu and Mahaprabhu, in which he recited to them his book, Sri Krishna Leela Mrita, Chaitanya Bhagwat Adi Leela, Chapter 11. When Sriman Mahaprabhu visited Kumarhata to see the birthplace of Sripad Ishwar Puri, he took some dirt from that place and bound it in his outer garment to teach the living entities how to respect one's spiritual master. Chaitanya Bhagavat Adi 17.101. Even today, every Gaudiya Vaishnava who visits the birthplace of Sri Ishwar Puri carries some dirt back with him. Sri Madhavendra Puri was the first fructified seat of the desired tree of devotional service, and Sri Ishwar Puri is the nourishment of that fructified tree. CC Adi 9.11. The two brahmacharis, Govind and Kashishwara, were disciples of Sri Ishwar Puripad. After his disappearance, these two brahmacharis went to Nilanchana on his order to serve Mahaprabhu. CC Adi 10.138 to 139 and Madhya 10.131 to 134. He received Mahaprabhu's mercy on the pretext of giving him mantra initiation in Gaya, CC Adi 17.9. Sri Brahmanand Puri was a disciple of Sri Madhavendra Puri. In other words, he was one of the 9 nidhis or the roots of the desired tree of devotional service, CC Adi 9.13. He was a participant in Sri Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan pastimes in Navadip. He also took part in Mahaprabhu's pastime in Neelachal. Quite informative, you see, this one. Because I think the second time the Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is mentioning about the benediction of Madhavendra Puri to Ishwar Puri, that may you be blessed with Krishna Prema. Plus, lots of things here.
Text 171. सभे यता महाजन संभाषा करेना कृष्ण प्रेमा कहारो शरीरे न देखेना. They had previously come across many sadhus, but they had never before seen such devotional symptoms.
Next 172. Sabe payena dukkha durjana sambashya ataiva vana sabe brahmena dekhiya. They always felt distressed while conversing with materialistic people, so they decided to travel through the forests.
Text 173. Anyone se saba dukhera haila Nasa Anyonye Dekine Krishna Premera Prakasha. Now, with this meeting, their distress was mitigated and their love for Krishna was aroused.
Text 174. काट दिन नित्यानंद माधवेंद्र संगे ब्रह्मेण श्री कृष्ण कथा परानंद आनंद रंगे. For some days, Nityanand Prabhu traveled with Madhavendra Puri and relished discussing topics of Lord Krishna.
Next 175. Madhavendra Kata Ati Adbhuta Katana Meghe Dekile Matra Hoya Achetana. The characteristics of Madhavendra Puri are most wonderful. He fell unconscious just by seeing a dark cloud. The Megha, or cloud, is an Udipana, or reminder of Krishna, whose complexion resembles a newly formed cloud.
This is this is realizing Lord Krishna everywhere. Like even just looking at the cloud reminds him of Lord Krishna, just the dark cloud. This is kind of just becoming fully Krishna conscious, it seems to me.
I agree.
So Mahaprabhu in his ecstasy, he has felt unconscious many times in Hilachal just by looking at dark clouds.
Hmm.
Yeah. Whose turn?
Next one, your turn, Papa. Text
176
176.
na?
Yes.
आहार निशा कृष्ण प्रेमी मध्य पेरा प्राया हसे कांडे हाई हाई करे हाया हाया. Out of love for Krishna, he would day and night laugh, cry, and exclaim, Haya, Haya, almost like a drunkard.
Text 177. Nityananda Mahamata Govindera Rase Dhuliya Dhuliya Pade Atta Atta Hase. Lord Nityanand was intoxicated with loving sentiments for Govind. He would laugh loudly and sway to and fro with love of God.
Next 178. Donhara Adbhuta Bhava Deki Shishyagana Niravadi Haribali Karaya Kirtana. Madhavendra's disciples constantly chanted the name of Hari as they observed their extraordinary symptoms of love.
Text 179. रात्रि दीना केहा नाही जाने प्रेमा रसे कथा कला या keha shana nahi vase. The two forgot whether it was day or night in their absorption of ecstatic love. Although they remained together for a number of days, they considered that time hardly a moment. The word shana nahi vase indicates that although they both spent all their all their time constantly discussing topics of Krishna without considering external time, place, or circumstances, they did not feel that they had passed even a fraction of a moment.
Text 180. Madhavendra Sange Yata Haila Akhyana Ke Jana Ye Taha Krishna Chandra Se Pramana. Who can know all the incidents that took place between Nityanand and Madhavendra Puri? Only Krishna can know. Purport. The phrase Krishna Chandra Se Praman indicates that only Lord Shri Krishna is the worshipable Lord for both Vishnu and the Vaishnavas, and as the super soul of everyone, he knows everything.
Next 181. Madhavendra Nichanande Chadiyate Pare Niravadi Nichananda Samhati Vihare. Madhavendra Puri was unable to give up the association of Nityanand, so he constantly remained with him.
Text 182. माधवेंद्र बोले प्रेमा ना देखी लुन को था सेई मोरा सर्वती था हे ना प्रेमा यथा. Madhavendra Puri said, I have never seen such ecstatic love. Wherever such love of God is found, that is my favorite holy place.
Text 183. जानीलू कृष्णेरा कृपा अच्छे मूरा प्रति नित्यानंद हेन बंधु पाइनु समहति. I know Krishna has bestowed his mercy on me because he has given me the association of Nityanand. Yeah.
Let's read, I think, read maybe to like another to like 190 or so.
Okay.
Okay,
Papa.
So it was 184 that you read?
Yeah.
Okay.
183. I read 183.
183. Text 184. Ye Stani Yadi Nityananda Sangha Hoya Stana Sarvatirtha Vaikuntari Maya. Wherever Nityananda's association is found, that place is most sacred and completely transcendental.
Text 185. Nityananda Hina Bhakta Sunile Shravane Avasya Prabhu Krishna Chandra Sei Jane. If one simply hears of such a devotee as Nityananda, he will certainly attain the lotus feet of Krishna Chandra.
Text 186. Nityanande yahara tileka dvesha rahe bhakta haila ose krishnera priya nahe. If one has the slightest envy for Nityanand, he is never favored by Krishna, even if he appears to be a devotee. Purport. It is to be understood that those who disrespect the spiritual master, who is non different from the Supreme Lord, by considering him a mortal being and addressing him as my spiritual master, his spiritual master, and so on, have not actually accepted the spiritual master as the dearmost associate of Krishna. Due to material considerations, people in this world have accepted the spiritual master, who is a direct manifestation of the Supreme Lord, as an object of enjoyment. It is impossible for members of these pseudo sampradayas to come to the same platform or cooperate with pure devotees. It is the nature of persons who are envious of the Vaishnavas to consider the spiritual master an object of enjoyment, because any consideration other than Amara Prabhura Prabhu Ranga Sundara ए बड़ा भर सास चित्ते धरि निरंतर Shri Gauranga Sundar is the Lord of my Lord. I always keep this conviction in my heart. Creates 13 pseudo sampradayas like Aula Baula Karta Bhaja Prakrita Sahajiya Sakhi Beki Jati Gosai and Gaura Nagari. Actually, if one rejects the concept of Guru or disrespects the eternally worshipable Supreme Personality of Godhead's supreme servitor and ascribes abominable, insignificant, mundane considerations on him, then according to the Ardha Kukutti Nyaya, or the logic of accepting half of a hen, his atheist nature will be revealed. Whenever the so-called spiritual masters of the pseudo sampradayas display their envy against the pure Vaishnavas, one should abandon those Apasampradaya, so-called gurus, who are actually laghus or insignificant, understanding them to be envious of the Vaishnavas. One should then search out and take shelter of a pure Vaishnava, who is spiritual master of the entire world and knower of the signs of Krishna. Apart from members of the Rupanuga Sampradaya, members of the 13 Apa Sampradayas are envious of the devotees who follow Sri Rupa. Therefore, Lord Krishna never considers them dear. That is why people who maintain animosity towards the pure devotee followers of Sri Rupa actually become Laghu. The spiritual masters who are dear to Krishna are always attached to the Vaishnava spiritual masters who follow Sri Rupa. On the pretext of devotional service, the members of the Apa Sampradayas appoint someone who is envious of the Supreme Lord as Guru and thus maintain their pride. Knowing them as bad association, the pure devotees give up their company and remain firmly fixed at the feet of their spiritual master under the subordination of Sri Rupa. Whilst analyzing the answer to the question, which person who is which person who is accepted as Guru is actually a pure Vaishnava or dearmost to Krishna? If we find that a person does not accept the followers of Sri Rupa as his intimate friends, but rather envies them, then such a bogus guru should immediately be totally rejected. Yeah, something to be learned from our current state of affairs also, but yeah.
That's a long
Yeah,
discussion.
yeah, that's a long discussion. Yeah.
Text 187. Ei Mata Madhavendra Nityananda Prati Aharnisha Bolena Harena Rati Mati. In this way, Madhavendra Puri day and night exhibited affection for Nityanand with his speech and activities.
Text 188. Madhavendra Prati Nityananda Mahashaya Guru Buddhi Vyatirika Rakta Arana Karaya. Nityanand considered Madhavendra to be his guru and nothing less. Some people say that according to the accepted and listed disciplic succession of Brahma Madhav Gaudiya Sampradaya, Sri Nityanand Prabhu was a disciple of Sri Madhavendra Puri. And some people say that he was a disciple of Sri Lakshmi Pati Tirth, which means that he was a god brother of Sri Madhavendra Puri. An ancient verse quoted in the fifth wave of the Bhakti Ratnakar states, Nityananda Prabhu Vande Srimad Lakshmi Pati Priyam Madhava Sampradayananda Vradhanam Bhakta Vatsalam. I worship Sri Nityanand Prabhu, who is very dear to Sri Lakshmi Pati. He increased the happiness of Madhava Sampradaya and was always affectionate to the devotees. The consideration of God brotherhood is not separate from consideration of Guru for the same reason that even though there is a difference between historical incidents and the description of that incident, both point to the same thing. The bogus Guru Sampradaya that follows the Smarta does not maintain a cordial relationship with the pure Vaishnavas, but has learned to illegitimately protect its selfish pride. That means Nityanand Prabhu was either already initiated when he met Madhavendra Puri. He was kind of that would put him as a god brother of Madhavendra Puri. But otherwise, initially it was said that he considered this meeting as an initiation point by him. He became a disciple of Madhavendra Puri.
Disciple of Madhavendra Puri.
But
that's what he's saying.
Yeah. But I mean, these people at that time, Nityanand Prabhu was much less than, he must be much less than 20 years. He must be around 17, 18 years. And Madhavendra Puri is such an exalted senior person. I mean, he must be middle-aged at least. Madhavendra Puri. And this boy of 17, 18, he is treating as if he is his equal.
Seriously.
Because Ishwar Puri himself was very grown at that time.
Yeah.
Ishwar Puri and all those 9 Nidhis and all that.
They were all much elder. Text 189. Ei mata anyo anye dui mahamati Krishna premena janena kotha divarati. These two greatly learned personalities did not know whether it was day or night due to their ecstatic love for Krishna. Purport. Being maddened with love for Krishna, both Sri Madhavendra Puri and Srimad Nityanand Prabhu were not concerned with the days and nights of the mundane external world, which is unfavorable to Krishna.
Text 190. Yeah.
I sometimes wonder, what these days the very, very senior Vaishnavas, GBC members and all that, what they do when they meet, whether they discuss politics only, ISKCON politics, or they discuss about Krishna.
Oh boy. Yeah. Text 190. Katadina Madhavendra Sangha Nityananda Takiya Chalila Sheshe Yata Setubanda. After remaining together for some days, Nityanand left for Setubanda, Rameshwaram.
Very good.
One other big difference is, you see, these are at that time there is no material opulence associated or around Madhavendra Puri or all these people. So there is not much to do with politics, like you just don't have any. There's no material assets or anything.
Seems like in a way it may have been a little bit easier in that respect.
I think so. All right, Dad, you want to do the prayers?
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram.
Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Babaji. Thank you for your
Hare Bol.
association. Haribol.
You as well.
Hare Bol.